Today we are going to draw a Frida Kahlo inspired art. It is going to be a parrot, is going to be the main subject. So you can choose if you want to draw one parrot or two parrots. Your paper can be either portrait like this, or it could also be landscape like this. Maybe you want to do two parrots. Maybe you want to do one parrot. It's your choice. When you draw your parrot today, we're going to try and start with the head shape. Think of all these zigzag lines like they're feathers coming off of the back of a parrot. You're going to go right off the edge of your paper there. There's a beak. It tends to kind of tip down, come back. It's kind of full. If you want to draw where it connects like that, you can. You're going to come in where the neck of the bird comes down, and then you're going to fill. There could be feathers back on this side. From here, if you want to use your bin and use stencils, you could use this to draw the eye if you want to. Maybe you draw another little circle inside there. The beaks tend to have little parts where they breathe from through up there. Also, you're going to start to do some line designs. So from here, you might want to draw a wing. You could create more lines. You could create something different. Maybe you have big zigzags in your wings. Maybe there's shapes that you can color in like that. You can choose how you want your feathers to look. Maybe they're circles. It's your choice as an artist. If you like the look of this parrot with that smooth head, you can do that. If you wanted yours to have those big feathers up there, they're essentially those big zigzag lines again. Well, then you're going to go and think about what designs are you going to put in the background? What inspired you from Frida's work? She had some nice shapes of flowers in her work. Maybe you want to do some flower designs. Maybe you want to use that template again. Maybe you want to draw some circles. Maybe they're in a pattern where they repeat down the page like a border. You can do that. Anything that brings in more color is the goal for today. Maybe a big circle at the bottom there. So when you go back, what you're going to do is you're going to trace over every line that you drew. So when you trace over all those lines, sometimes you might miss your pencil line, and that's okay. What you're going to do when you're done tracing is you're going to go back and erase any spots that have that pencil. And then the result will be this parrot where you have Sharpied the whole thing and you have no pencil marks left. After that stage, then you're going to get your oil pastels. So your oil pastel container has your oil pastels like this. And with your oil pastels, we're going to choose all the bright colors today, the colors on that color wheel on my wall. So the yellows, the oranges, the reds, the greens, the blues, the purples. We're going to stay away from colors that look like this. This is a gray. Here's another gray. You can see this is kind of a dirty but a peach there. All of those colors that have a lot of white in them, they are not going to show that well once we do the next step, which is scratching back into the art after it's been painted. Color kind of quickly like this. Not only is the oil pastel looking very light, but you can see a lot of the white of the paper through your coloring. That's not going to work really well today because what we're going to do after it's all oil pasteled, I'm going to help you and we are going to paint it black with India ink. It's a special ink that I mix with dish soap. And when I do that, what happens is that it's going to coat your oil pastel. And where the oil pastel is, you will be able to go back and scratch that paint off. But if you have a lot of white on your paper, like this area, what's going to happen is that the black paint is just gonna go right on that white paper and you won't be able to scratch it off. So today in particular, we need to push hard with those oil pastels. And when you push hard, what it does is it's leaving no white of your paper left. We're gonna push really hard. And it's better to have your two colors overlap with each other than to have white in between them. So we're gonna push hard where you can see no white left underneath. For this project today, we don't need to do this background here. You can leave that white. So you're gonna do your designs, all of these designs, and that entire parrot is what you are going to oil pastel today. Any area that you leave white, like that eye, when I paint it black, it's just gonna turn black. So you need to choose colors in all of those places that allows, maybe I'll do a bright green. That will allow you to scratch back in and show the color. So every area needs to be oil pasteled for it to show. So now that I have done oil pastel on all my designs, and then I have also done it on the entire bird, the next thing I'm gonna do is bring this up to Mrs. Oboisky, and I'm gonna show you how to paint it. I'm going to paint over our art. And I know it looks scary at first where it's turning black, but it will dry and you'll still be able to see your image underneath. So you'll still be able to see your design. It will show through once it dries, and it is very fast drying. I can see the outlines of parts of my line of the bird. So when you're scratching, I'm going in the direction of those lines that I drew in that wing. So it helps create the look of feathers. And what this is that element of art, texture. It is showing a lot of texture. I can see this wing, it curves, so I'm gonna curve my scratching with it. Instead of just scratching in any quick direction, I'm gonna curve that feather down, the wings, those line designs. I can see the wing next to it in all those bright colors. So I'm gonna do some line designs in those wings where I'm scratching. I'm taking my time. I'm not gonna do it really fast. It looks much better if you actually take the time to carve into each one individually. So now when you reach the point that it looks done, you might want to go to the trash and shake it out over the trash can. And then you are ready to bring it over to me, and we'll put it on the drying rack from there.